Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Tonight, we'll be talking about the grateful heart. So, gratitude is the quality of being thankful. It's about showing appreciation and kindness to others, but also to ourselves. So, the month of November is upon us, believe it or not. I can hardly believe it. And this is the month of gratitude. Thanksgiving is the holiday that we celebrate this month, and it will be approaching in a few weeks. And this holiday really focuses on celebrating gratitude. It encourages us to be appreciative of what we have and who we are and all that is around us. And so, oftentimes, when we think of gratitude, we may think of material objects or people that we are grateful for. That's typically what comes to mind when we think of gratitude. But tonight, we are going to explore the concept of self gratitude or gratitude for ourselves. So, when we practice gratitude for ourselves, we really take the time to appreciate and to recognize all that we do each and every day and who we are as human beings and the very best qualities that make us who we are. And although it may seem so to some, it is not a selfish exercise. It really is a practice that helps you to fill your bucket so that you're ready to support yourself and others in the same way. So sometimes it can be difficult to acknowledge our positive traits or strengths. It isn't always something that's easy to do. Um, I'm sure some of you have maybe experienced this when you receive a compliment from somebody, right? And maybe this positive feedback or these positive words or sense of acknowledgement kind of makes us squirm in some kind of way. It can make us feel a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. Kristen Neff has a beautiful quote that I want to share with you because it really touched me, and I hope that it touches you in some way as well. So she says, showing appreciation for our good qualities is an expression of gratitude for all the people who have shaped us as individuals. So, whether it was a nurturing family, whether you had supportive teachers, wonderful friends, or a mentor, it's nice to know that when we appreciate ourselves, in a way, we are also appreciating others as well. That might make it a little bit easier to do. So, I'd like to mention that practicing gratitude has a tremendous amount of benefits. Practicing gratitude helps to rewire the brain to help us both think and feel more positivity. It's really amazing. We can't feel negative emotions and be grateful at the same time. And I think that's extremely fascinating. Research has shown that practicing gratitude reduces stress, anxiety, and depression, and it can even help with pain management. So there's a lot of benefits for practicing gratitude. I would be remiss not to mention the current state of the world right now. And now more than ever, we really need to offer ourselves kindness and compassion and see the goodness that's within. It's important to remember that as human beings, we are fundamentally good. John Kabat-Zinn has a beautiful quote that I'd like to share with you. And he says, we come into this world already good enough. We come into this world already good enough. And with that assumption, we are fundamentally good. So it's important to recognize and appreciate this fundamental goodness within ourselves and to really tune inwards, right? To come inside ourselves and notice our strengths and wonderful qualities that make us who we are. It could be kindness or a good sense of humor or intelligence. It's important to be able to shine this goodness out into the world. But in order to do that, we first have to recognize it and acknowledge it within ourselves. And so, by sharing these good qualities, when we in fact do so, we impact first our immediate circle, our friends, family members, people we see on a day to day basis. But it's so amazing that it has a ripple effect, right? So maybe you touch one person in some way, and who knows how far it can go, touching people that they know, and so on and so forth, right? By giving our good qualities and making use of our good qualities and putting them out into the world, we can impact the world in a much larger way than we may realize. So, again, as I mentioned, although practicing gratitude for ourselves may feel a bit awkward in some way, or perhaps a little bit uncomfortable, maybe we feel undeserving or selfish, it's something that's really important to do. Rhonda Burns says wonderfully, unless you fill yourself up first, you have nothing to give to anybody. So it's important that we fill ourselves up first so that we have the ability to extend this out and into the world. So tonight, as we move into this meditation and really try and appreciate our own goodness and our best qualities, see if it's possible to give yourself permission, right? Allow yourself to really feel the good qualities that make you who you are. And so, with that, I would like to move now into our meditation. And so, doing the best that you can to find a comfortable seat, and then just allowing the eyes to close or softening the gaze. Taking a moment to settle into this posture, maybe noticing the feet making contact with the floor, maybe sensing the sits bones resting on the seat beneath you, tuning into this contact, maybe feeling supported or held by the seat in some way. Maybe there's some comfort in that. And then, if it feels right, just finding a little extra length in the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Maybe inviting a softening of the forehead, perhaps slackening the jaw. Just continuing to settle into this posture. And then tuning into the body. And as you do so, perhaps becoming aware of the fact that the body is breathing. And gently resting the awareness here on the breath. Knowing that throughout this practice, as we follow the breath, the mind will wander. And as it does, knowing that's okay, and just to come back to the breath once again. So continuing to follow the breath in the body, breath by breath and moment by moment. Just staying with the rise and the fall of the breath. Continuing to follow each breath cycle. Staying with the breath, breath by breath and moment by moment. Just noticing one breath in and one breath out. And then noticing another breath in and another breath out. Just following along with the breath. And now calling to mind someone in your life that you admire. So, taking a moment to bring this person to mind, maybe a few people come to mind, but just settling on one. And then holding this person in the mind's eye. Begin to notice and recount their good qualities, naming them. Could be bravery, kindness, generosity, creativity. Whatever it is that's coming to mind, just allow it to come to mind and continue to name it. Perhaps you notice one good quality in particular. Maybe you notice many good qualities. Just continuing to recognize the good and best qualities of this particular person. And as you do this, perhaps you're recognizing what it is that you value, what it is that's meaningful and important to you. Maybe realizing that the qualities that you admire in others are also qualities that are also within yourself. It's often difficult to realize and notice our best qualities. And so it's helpful to begin with someone else, to notice the goodness within someone else. What we see in others is often what we hold near and dear to our hearts. And now letting go of this particular person and tuning inward toward yourself, really giving yourself permission to notice your very best qualities, knowing that it's okay to celebrate, acknowledge, and honor your good qualities. And with that, beginning to notice, what are your best qualities? And don't be shy about this. Could be your integrity, your ingenuity, your loyalty. Just noticing whatever it is that comes to mind. What are your best qualities? Asking yourself, what are my best qualities? And taking some time to explore this now. Notice what's arising, what's coming to the surface for you. Noticing the very many gifts that make you who you are. Continuing to notice the characteristics that make you uniquely you. And now sensing into the heart, tuning into the heart space and asking yourself, what values and traits do I hold dear? What values and traits are near and dear to my heart? And taking some time now to listen to the voice of your own heart. What is it saying? What is in your own heart? And as you listen, maybe something arises that you haven't acknowledged before. Maybe something that you haven't allowed yourself to feel or see. Maybe it is that for the first time you are recognizing something about yourself that you value. Or perhaps you're just confirming something that you already know. And whatever it is, just really being open to this experience, giving yourself permission to be open to this experience. And now, perhaps having gratitude for these good qualities, allowing yourself to appreciate and be grateful for the goodness that makes you who you are. Giving the gift of appreciation to yourself. And just continuing now to look at the goodness within yourself, the goodness that resides within your own heart. Really recognizing and realizing your own inner beauty. Sensing into your own inner beauty. And as you explore this, perhaps noticing what feelings this evokes. What can be felt as you offer yourself gratitude and appreciation for your goodness, your good qualities, perhaps noticing joy, contentment, ease, peace, pride, surprise, and perhaps noticing discomfort, sense of unease, just noticing what feelings are present as you offer yourself gratitude and appreciation. What is here to be felt? And now perhaps noticing where it is in the body that these emotions can be felt. So perhaps it's one place or many. Maybe it's a bubbling in the belly, a tingling of the fingertips, a lightness overall. Just noticing now, are there any physical sensations that are tied to these emotions? And where are these physical sensations? How do these physical sensations manifest in the body? Really exploring, bringing this kind curiosity to notice what can be known and felt. What's here? And I invite you now to reflect on how your good qualities impact those around you. So, asking yourself, how do my good and best qualities impact those in my life around me? And taking some time to really explore this question from a heartful place. By recognizing our own gifts, we have a greater ability to share them with those around us. And it's important to remember that there's a ripple effect. The gifts that we share initially impact those immediately around us, whether it's family, friends, acquaintances, those we come in contact throughout the day with. So our goodness impacts these people first, but then it ripples out. We often don't even realize the extent that we have on making an impact in the world. But by offering others our best qualities and sharing these best qualities and goodness with those around us, we can really make such a difference. We can really make such a difference. And now tuning back to the breath once again. Coming back to this life sustaining force that is the breath. Following each breath cycle, inhalation, exhalation. And I'm going to read a poem. Self love and appreciation is a revolution that every atom in your body is marching for. Self love and appreciation is a revolution that every atom in your body is marching for. And so just taking a moment with those words, allowing them to sink in if they resonate. And in a moment, I'm going to ring the bell, signifying the end of this meditation practice. And just seeing if it's possible to stay present with the sound as it enters your awareness. And if your eyes have been closed, I invite you to allow them to open. And I have an invitation for this week. And so the invitation is to show yourself some appreciation. So really try and be sure to acknowledge when you have done something well or you have made use of one of your good qualities in some way. And then maybe have gratitude for the fact that you are uniquely you. Maybe recognizing and remembering that there is no one else exactly like you on this earth. And so, with that, I would like to thank you all for participating in this Wellness Wednesday this evening. I wish you all a really wonderful evening and wonderful week ahead. And I really look forward to seeing you at an upcoming meditation or Krame Center event soon. Thank you and have a really wonderful evening. Take care. Bye bye.